Artificial intelligence is coming at us fast and furious. It's on our phones, in our classrooms, and it's changing businesses and lives. There is little that isn't or won't be impacted by it, including the world of art.
Which brings up an ethical debate in our creative community. Rena set out to explore if AI is seen as a threat or a tool.
Yeah, I have a good time.
To look at these beautiful photographs, you'd think Jim Henderson was born holding a camera.
Do a fair amount of ag work, farmers, ranchers.
But actually, he didn't pick it up until after he left his career in advertising.
I like that one. I was on the West Coast.
Creative people will always find a way to stay creative.
I still do some art direction stuff to kind of keep my toe in the water, and that's kind of how I fell into the poster thing.
The poster thing. It's become pretty popular, but I mean, dogs, right?
And I made a couple of them, and I just posted them on Facebook, and then friends and people started emailing me. Can you make one of Muffy, or can you make one of my dog?
Here's the twist. Jim uses AI
This is the interface.
to create them.
It's all done with prompts, just text prompts. So I've typed in dachshund dog running through the grass with hills in the background. Okay, got 4 to choose from. Click on that. That was your original. Asked it to add some more flowers. Here's what I got.
And while it is that simple, it also isn't.
So what it's making for me actually doesn't exist anywhere. That image doesn't exist, but the data that it's learned to make it was taken from somewhere.
Wait a minute, it's a doggone controversy. Not with Jim, but within the art world. The systems used to create new works of art are being trained from art that already exists. Art that was created by a human and scraped off the internet. It has spurred copyright lawsuits and ethical questions.
If you think about it, it's like you're devaluing someone's experience that they've trained and learned years and years to do what they're doing.
Jim gets it, but he also knows one other important thing.
And I don't think it's just an enemy to look at and say, because it is not going to go away.
We actually had quite a few debates about how to create a policy around it.
The Minneapolis College of Art and Design feels the same way. We are just at the beginning of what AI can do. So right now, they know it can be both a tool and a threat at the same time.
We're trying to help each other understand how to use these systems ethically and how to still maintain the voice and the authorship that an artist and designer has to have. So that's tricky, but we're not putting our heads in the sand.
Eric Brandt, chair of the design department, says MCAD already has classes dedicated to it. And like any research paper where you have to cite your sources, students must disclose if they've used AI for any portion of their project. He also notes this isn't the first time a new technology has changed their world. When photography was invented, painters felt threatened. The advent of Photoshop challenged the ethics of what was real or manipulated. And desktop publishing changed the print industry entirely. So, will AI-generated art eventually be considered its own art form?
To debate around that, about what's original and what's not, I think in the end is always, I hope, always going to come down to the voice of the individual artist or designer.
Back to Jim and the dogs.
There's an art to the prompt.
These posters take him hours to create.
A lot of times I don't get at all what I want, and so I keep tweaking the prompt, and I keep rerunning it and rewording it.
It's his vision as an artist and designer, combined with the artificial intelligence that create one-of-a-kind posters, which he fully discloses on his website.
Let's try this.
So as the beholder, you get to decide. Tool, threat, or art form.
At the end of the day, it's going to be here, so figure out how to make it to your advantage.
Rena Sargentopoulos,
I'm just going to run it again.
KARE 11 News.
Well, to the artists out there, there are ways to protect your creations online. They include things like using a watermark and avoiding posting on social media. There is also a new tool called Glaze that will, in simple terms, scramble your work so it cannot be copied. Fascinating.
Super interesting, right?
Yeah,
And
Rena
such
did a fabulous job with
I
that
agree.
too, by the way, but yeah.
Really explaining it because it is confusing, right? And there is a quandary
Yeah.
because it is art.
Right.
But
I
yeah.
love those posters.
So do I.
I'm gonna be texting her about that, guys.
But
Contact info.
I love how she pointed out that there's been so many changes over
Yeah,
the years.
Photoshop.
You forget about all those things, right?
Print, yeah.
Because now it's just common day.